Hello, everyone. It's Lindsay Landry, intuitive and spiritual business mentor, and I wanted to do this session for you to tell you a little bit about my upcoming program. It's a Reiki Level 1 Intro to Energy Healing, and to also just answer some of the questions that I've been getting. I've had so many people reach out to me interested in the program, and I want to just tell you a little bit more about it and also answer some of those burning questions so that you can have a clear understanding of what to expect and what you'll also receive from the program. So before we drop in, I just want to take a few breaths together. So if you want to just settle in wherever you are, and I invite you just to take a few deep breaths. Breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Allowing yourself to just settle into this moment. Starting to feel into your body. Noticing how you're feeling in this moment. You might, be in Facebook groups. Maybe you're just finishing with a client. Just allow yourself to settle in and to fully be here. And to fully notice how you feel. And then with your next breath, I just invite you to set an intention. So if there's anything that you're feeling that you need today in this moment, maybe it is some energy, maybe it is some clarity, and it doesn't even have to be pertaining to this program, but whatever it is that you need, just allow that intention to surface and allow yourself to claim it. Just take one more breath, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So welcome. So once again, my name is Lindsay Landry. I am an intuitive, I'm a healer, spiritual teacher, and a spiritual business mentor. And I just want to tell you a little bit about what Reiki is first, and then I'll tell you how I was introduced to it, how I have used it in my practice, and how it's allowed my practice to grow and expand and also help my clients. And yeah, we'll go from there. So what is Reiki? And so what it is it's a Japanese healing technique. And it's done, if you're in person, it's done a lot of times by laying on the hands, where somebody's either hovering over the body or actually putting their hands fully on the body. And it can be also thought of as like a healing touch. There's several different energy techniques. Probably many of you are familiar with EFT. That's an energy healing technique. Also, craniosacral massage. Some of you may have gotten that. That's also an energy healing technique. Reiki is similar in the fact that it works with energy. But the reason that Reiki is different from these other energy techniques is because you go through an attunement process. So what that means is you can almost think of it like a baptism. When you become attuned to Reiki, it opens your personal channel for that energy to flow through you and also for your personal healing. And then it allows the Reiki energy to flow through you so that you can heal other people. So, if you're not attuned to Reiki and you're doing healing, you can still do healing work and you can still do energy work, but you're not using the Reiki energy. The attunement is what makes Reiki unique to itself. So in Reiki, there's 3 different levels. The first level is all about healing the physical body. It's about opening up your intuition, opening up your channel of personal energy, and then allowing you to start to connect to energy as a whole and to start to heal other people, specifically emotional healing, not emotional, I'm sorry. It's specifically physical healing, and also level 1 is like awakening and awareness. So what I notice for a lot of people when they're attuned to level 1 is they really start to connect to and open to their own awareness and their own intuition. And the same thing happens when somebody receives a Reiki session. So not an attunement, but just like if you were the practitioner giving a session, what the client often receives is a new set of awareness and an opening to their own intuition and healing of their physical body. So that's what the level 1 attunement does. And I'm just going to close out Facebook because I noticed the sound. Okay, sorry about that. And so just to tell you a little bit about how I even got into this and how Reiki came into my life. So many of you who already know me know a little bit about my story, but so I'm not going to say the whole entire thing. But as a teenager and young adult, I started struggling with my health. I had polycystic ovaries, low thyroid, blood sugar issues. I was overweight, and I was pretty depressed. And in high school, my mom brought me to several different doctors to try to figure out what was wrong with me. And I always had this deeper knowing and this yearning inside, knowing that there was something more. There was a deeper reason. And medicine just didn't resonate with me. It didn't feel good to me. When I took the medicine, often I got worse. And so this led me on like a huge quest for my own healing. And that's basically what led me to where I am today. So I went to school to become a dietitian because I thought, if I got my food under wraps, then I could start to lose weight and heal my body. And that helped a little bit, but what I started to find that it really wasn't the food. So even when I was eating healthy and working out sometimes 2 hours a day, I still wasn't losing weight. I was actually gaining weight and my body was feeling worse than before. And so this led me to start searching even more answers. And that's whenever I plugged into holistic health and holistic healing. I saw a holistic health coach. I guess I was probably like 20-ish at the time. And I started seeing amazing results within like a week of getting on the supplements. And so I was super excited. I started studying holistic healing. And the same thing basically happened where I hit this place where the herbs and supplements weren't working for me anymore. And it was really frustrating. And for a long time, I felt like something was wrong with me. And, I wanted to also know, like, why is this happening? And actually, I must have been around my senior year in college, and someone called me for a nutrition session. And I was so excited that I actually drove an hour to go do a session for her, and because I didn't have an office and she did. And so I went, and come to find out, she was a massage therapist, and she told me she also did energy work. And I was like, oh my God, what is that? And she told me that it worked on balancing your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And it really helped to help with stress and help balance emotions. And that was all I really needed to hear. And I just knew that I needed it. I didn't even know anything else, but I was like, I think I need that. So I scheduled a session with her. And at the time, my relationships were really rocky. I was always bad about, becoming friends with people or even dating people or being interested in people that were never really good for me. And so I would end up, either being hurt or just being kind of depleted or feel like nobody was there for me when I needed. So I knew that I needed some help in the relationship realm, and even like my relationship with my family and my parents was kind of rocky. And so those were some of the things, you know, my physical health, but also some of these things were what I wanted to focus on. And after our first session, I was like blown away. The next day I got called and offered a job that I didn't even apply for. And all I knew is whatever she did to me worked. And I wanted to know more about it, and I wanted to learn how to do it. And so this sent me on this quest. And basically, like shortly after that, I ended up leaving my home. I went volunteer at a yoga wellness center where I studied mind body healing. I studied yoga. I studied energy work. And just being in a community of 60 like-minded individuals, volunteers, and then we hosted up to 700 people sometimes at the retreat center. Just being in this heart-centered community where I actually felt seen for the first time, and I felt like people understood me, and I felt like I could fully be myself. It was just this amazing healing process for me. And while I was there, I ended up getting gifted my Reiki attunements. I met this guest, and he told me that I was a healer and that he really felt guided to attune me to Reiki. And so this was like this huge awakening for me, and it awakened me to this new journey. I took a meridian chakra class while I was there and really just started to explore this knowledge that I was learning. And when I left Kripalu, I started my job as a dietitian, working at a internal medicine office. So I was working under a doctor. I was the head dietitian there. And what I noticed is similar to my story, like all these clients that were coming to me, they were, you know, suffering from these health issues, or even a lot of them, it was complicated health issues like Lyme's disease and Epstein-Barr's and all these hormonal imbalances that had no real cause. And even though they were doing their diet and doing all these different things, these supplements and medications, like it wasn't getting better. And what I started to really see that it was like energetic patterns. So maybe they were unhappy at their job, or maybe they were unhappy in their relationship, or maybe they were the person that was holding everything up for everyone around them. And so then they were exhausted and depleted. And so at that job, and specifically, when I started to realize all these things, it started to get a bit uncomfortable. And that was actually what caused me to break out and start my private practice, because I wanted to be able to work with people in this full capacity of the mind, body, spirit healing. And I didn't even use Reiki in my practice for the first few years because I didn't feel confident enough in it. I ended up taking another Reiki class when I started my private practice, and the class that I took was a longer. So instead of just having like a weekend training or a day training, it was I think it was 6 weeks. And this gave me more space to practice and really get feedback, and also to use it for myself. And I also took several other classes. And so as I started to use, I started to slowly, once I was attuned to Reiki the second time, I slowly started to use it in my practice. And what I found, I remember one of my first clients, we were working on losing weight. And during the Reiki session, we got to some core things of being supported and just like connecting back to the support that she had growing up and these types of things. And when we balanced her energy, she lost like 9 pounds in a week. And so I was able to start seeing some of these results, these physical results with my clients. It's like adding the energy healing, adding this tool to help balance their energy during the session allowed the session to go so much deeper. So like if we were focusing on the weight, it was allowing my clients to open up so they could lose weight. So we would still do some of the supplements and those kind of things as well. But it was like this extra tool that was really helping and supporting. And then the same thing, as I started shifting my business more and more towards helping people trust their intuition, and then later business, the same thing. So Reiki is like this foundational tool that, like, when we can balance our energy, what happens is we get results so much quicker. Like, I would have a session with someone and they would have clients contacting them right after the session. And it's because their energy was fully aligned to where they could receive the money, or, the client, but also their energy was vibrating so high that whatever they were putting out was also vibrating that high energy. So Reiki, when you use Reiki and you use this energy tool to balance a person's energy, and that's basically how it works. We all have life force energy that flows through us. And when we are depleted, or, when we have negative thoughts, or when we, even if, like, we're triggered by an experience and it brings us back to a painful time, and also, too, like, what I see with a lot of coaches specifically is, you might take on your client's energy. So anytime we do this, it causes, like, energetic traffic jams in our system, in our body. So this can be your physical body, your emotional body, your spiritual body. And when that happens, then the chi, the energy, isn't fully flowing, and we're not able to exchange as easily. So what Reiki does is it basically starts to clear out those blocks and get the energy flowing again, to where the traffic can move, to where the energy can circulate, to where there can be this natural exchange. And so when that happens, basically the whole, like, everything around you starts to change. So you start to attract things, the things that you currently have in your life, whether it's your relationship with your clients or your significant other or whatever, that starts to change, because when you change your energy, people are going to respond to you different. And the best way to explain that is like the dog whisperer. If you've ever watched the dog whisperer, he's so calm and he's so grounded that the dogs always listen to whatever he's telling them. And then, usually, like, the owners are like, oh my God, they're so amazed, because, like, this dog has never been so calm in its entire life. And as soon as Caesar walks in, it's, like, so calm and it's so mellow, and, it's being this perfect dog. And the same thing happens when we shift our energy, the world around us starts to shift to that. So whatever that thing was that was really annoying, or, like, doing what it wasn't supposed to do, and then it starts to align to us. So this is so powerful, because no matter what your client is struggling with or what you're struggling with personally, it allows you to start balancing that out. And so in this 3-month program that I created, you actually are getting attuned to Reiki level 1. So you're going to get the foundation of learning how to use Reiki for yourself and how to use it for your clients. But also through the 3 months, I'm going to be teaching you tools, basically giving you this energetic toolbox. So you're going to be learning how to ground your energy, how to manage your own energy, how to clear your own blocks. And then as you use these things on yourself, then you can start to use it with clients. I always, no matter what it is, I firmly believe one of my principles that I really believe in is, like, we always should use it for ourselves first, because we should tend ourselves before we start to tend others. So, the way I'm delivering this is I'm saying, like, I'm going to be teaching you how to use it for yourself, but you will be able to also use these tools for your clients as well. And what that's going to do is it's going to help them to get better results, no matter what you're working on with them. If you're working with them on losing weight, it's going to help them to lose more weight. If you're working on that with them to manage their stress, like, it's going to help with that, because Reiki actually helps ground you into your body. It helps ground you and clear those blocks so that you can feel relaxed. That's probably one of the most common responses that I hear after I work with people energetically is that they feel really relaxed and really calm. And, you know, money, one of the fastest ways to bring in money is by grounding, is by getting to that place of being relaxed, being calm. When we're at that place, we become like a natural money magnet or even a client magnet. We're in the feminine of receiving, so we're able to receive. So, you know, Reiki can also help to clear money blocks and to help you to bring in money. So these are some of the different things. The way that I have the class broken down is the first month, we're going to talk about energy, awareness, and grounding. So I'm going to give you the solid foundation in learning about your energy, learning how to get super grounded to where you can call in money, to where you can, you know, manage your stress, to where you can have more clarity. Because when we're grounded, you know, we can get that laser clarity and that laser focus of what we're supposed to be doing in our business. And even also with clients, when we're grounded, we can see their issues so much easier. So the first month, that's what we're going to be focusing on. The second month, we're going to move into really looking at the physical body and the physical energy system. So we're going to talk about, you know, how the body works physically, how your energy system works, specifically the chakras. So you may have heard of the chakras before. And as we're diving into that, I'm going to be giving you different tools and techniques to clear blocks. So we have 7 main chakras, 7 main energy centers, and each one represents something differently, something different. So, and each one holds different energy. So I'll be teaching you all about that, all about how to identify, you know, if somebody has this block, whether it's you or your client, like where is the block and then what exactly needs to happen for it to shift so that they can move forward. So that is what we're going to be diving into month 2. Month 3 is going to be all about really connecting with your intuition and connecting with your higher self and your guides. And so we're going to talk about the archangels. We're going to talk about, you know, leaning on spirit and getting support from spirit. You're going to meet your spirit guide so that you can feel supported all the time. And, you know, one of the reasons that this is so important is because no matter what we're doing, whether it's in our business or our life, when we have this connection to be able to tap into that support, the spiritual support, we can get confirmation. We can know, are we on the right path? We can also know how to discern, is this good for me or not? You know, so we can make decisions so much easier, and that can save you so much time, so much money, because, you know, if you are starting to work on a project that, you know, if you would just know from the beginning, like, that's not going to be the best thing for me to do, that could save you maybe a couple of months of working on something. So, you know, I'm going to be teaching you different resources to be able to tune into your own energy, tune into other energy to where you know what's good for you, and you can make decisions super easily and super quickly. And then you're also going to be able to use this for your clients, right? So that is going to be the basic foundation of the class. I also have 2 bonus classes for you that I'm so excited. I was inspired to add. So one of them is about aromatherapy and how to use aromatherapy. And the other one is about healing with crystals. So these are 2 powerful tools that can help assist in healing energy and also helping you clear energy and keep your energy nice and high vibe. So yeah, that is the foundation of the class. And just some of the results that some of my clients have gotten that have already gone through my Reiki program. I've had some college students who were in school for psychology, and within about a month of taking the Reiki attunement, they realized that that wasn't really what they wanted. And one of them, she went to Hawaii. She got her life coaching training. The other one realized she wanted to become a massage therapist. I've also had business women in my classes that, had corporate jobs, and they realized that wasn't the thing for them. And they started their businesses and are actually super successful. And also relationships. I've had people's relationships totally transform. And, one of the things is when you get attuned to Reiki, the Reiki basically does whatever it needs to do for you. I've also had people with health issues, and that was my thing as well. Like, I had all these different health issues, and when I got attuned to Reiki, I ended up losing 50 pounds. I met my soulmate. My health totally improved. I've had people with Crohn's that we started working together, Reiki sessions, and then they got attuned, and like the Crohn's totally cleared up. So whenever you get attuned, like what happens is the energy does whatever it needs to do for you. So it's basically activating your system, clearing out whatever blocks aren't serving you, and then it's opening you to receive whatever is needing and wanting to come through for you. So I cannot tell you exactly what's going to happen for you, but it's always pretty magical. I think every single one of my students say that Reiki has totally transformed their life, and also energy healing and just being aware of energy. So I hope that this is, giving you a clear understanding of what it is and how you can use it. I just want to answer a couple of the questions that have been coming up. So I just want to check the time as well. Okay, so a couple of questions that have been coming up that people have been asking me. So for a few people, they're asking like, okay, how much time is this going to take? And like, what if I don't have that much time to dedicate to this? Because, whether you are working full-time in your business and that's taking up a lot of energy, or maybe you have a family where you have a husband and children and you're worried about like, am I going to really have time to be able to devote to this class, plus my business, plus my family and whatnot. So the thing about Reiki is it's going to ground you. So energy healing and Reiki energy is very supportive and it's very nourishing. So if right now you're feeling like you're running around and you're having trouble managing your time, probably what Reiki is going to do is it's going to fill you up. It's going to help to ground you. It's going to help you come back to your center so that you actually probably find that you have more time. Because when you're operating from that place of being in your center, you can get to everything so much easier. So like you can imagine a wagon wheel, and you have the outside and then you have the center of that wagon wheel. When you're operating out here, all these spokes, it's hard to get to every single one. But when you come to your center, then you can reach out to every single one, and it's super easy to reach out to every single one. And what happens, when your cup is totally full, which Reiki energy does, it's like basically filling you up, body, mind, and spirit on all levels. So when you're really full, what happens is when you are showing up in your business or with your husband or with your children, you have so much more energy to give. So rather than operating from a half glass full, you're operating from your cup being overflowing. So, the little bit of time that you're spending in each different area is so much more impactful than if you were just like doing all these different things with your energy half full. So another question that I got is, am I ready? Like, how do I know if I'm really ready for this? Maybe you have taken a lot of classes. Maybe you're even doing a lot of work in your business, and, you might feel like it's not fully going where you want it to go, or like you've already taken classes that you haven't implemented and started to use. So you're not sure, like, are you really ready for this, or is this going to be like something else that you just put on the shelf and like don't really use? So my answer for you around this is it's really your choice, but if you're feeling called to it, then I believe that you're ready. And the better thing to look at is like, is there any fear? And if so, what is that fear about? You know, again, like one of the things about Reiki is it does whatever it needs to do for you. Usually what I notice is in my classes, there's general themes that everyone is kind of experiencing a similar thing. So like the class sort of takes on a theme of its own. So when that happens, you know, people start to mirror each other, and that kind of becomes the thing that we talk about a lot. And I hold space for you as well to like work through whatever's coming up. That's one of the reasons that I made it into a 3-month program, because what I see is like, you know, even just if you consider this class, you've been activated to the energy. And so like you're already starting to sort out different layers. Like, oh, is this, you know, do I have the time? Do I have the money? You know, is this going to be good for me? So just by starting to inquire on that, like you're already starting to navigate these layers, and you're starting to, stuff is bubbling up in your system to be cleared. So, you know, I'm not going to promise you that like you're going to be attuned to Reiki and everything's going to be perfect, because it does open up a clearing. But the 3-month program is designed so that you have a space to work through whatever that is. So if you know that taking classes and not fully using the information is a theme for you, we can work on that through the program. We can work on that fear, whatever your fear is around it as well. And the same thing with time. Like if time is an issue for you, like we can work on that through the program, because that's like the perfect thing. Like as we're learning these new tools, each tool is going to help you to navigate these different layers. And then the other question that has been coming up is just the money piece. And you know, not so much asking about the money, but just, you know, people inquiring, like trying to figure out the money thing. And what I've noticed for myself is when it's something that I really want, when I say yes and I commit to it, the money shows up, especially when it's a spiritual decision. I just enrolled in a 9-month energy program, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to pay for it. Well, I knew I was going to be able to, but like, you know, in my bank account, the money wasn't there, but I kind of made the decision, like, I'm going to do this. And the money has been showing up in the most beautiful, unexpected ways. And it's happened with total ease. And, you know, when we are making these spiritual decisions, that's what I see. You know, the money shows up with total ease. And like I said, like one of the fastest ways to bring in money and clients is to get grounded. And we are, you know, the whole first month of this program, and even just, you know, once you enter it, the energy allows you to start getting grounded. And that's one of the beautiful things about community as well. When you have a community of people working on the same thing, it allows that force to be a little bit stronger. So if, you know, it's something that you haven't mastered yet, but you have all these sisters that are also working on it, it's like you get to feed off the energy of the group. And when you need that support, you get to plug into the group for support. And that just brings me to one more thing that I want to talk about, and that's actually support. So for so many healers, and even just heart-centered and soul-centered entrepreneurs, including myself, I will put myself in the mix, support can be a huge thing. So it doesn't always, you know, sometimes the thoughts of like, do I really want to enter a group program? Like, what is this going to be like? I'm not that great at like being in group programs because I don't always feel supported. Or I feel like, you know, I'm above that. So all these different questions or layers can come up, and like, that's totally okay. But each, you know, no matter what's coming up for you, whether you feel like you're the type of person that is going to be kind of ahead of the group, or like maybe you're the one that you always feel behind, no matter what layer that is that's coming up, like that's a beautiful opportunity to navigate that. And Reiki is the perfect place to do that. And I actually invite these types of conversations because that's, you know, when we can start to explore and heal that on one different level, even if that's you showing up in this container and seeing that you can be part of a group and get supported, then you get to, that starts to snowball into every aspect of your life. So it starts to show up in your relationships, and you start to be able to be more supported by friends, family, your significant other. Also shows up with your clients. You get to receive more from them because you're receiving. So, yeah. So yeah, if you're feeling called, I would absolutely love to take this journey with you and to hold space for you as you take this journey. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can either PM me or send me an email at soulinspiredhealth@gmail.com. And I'm more than happy to set up a time to talk, and we can talk about it. And if you just know that this program is for you, then you can go ahead and go to my website at lindsaylandry.com/Reiki level 1, and you can sign up for the program. I'm sending you so much love, and hope you have a beautiful day.